So today we will be discussing about the short stature. So first of all, what is short stature? So definition: height is less than third percentile for age, third percentile, or less than 2 standard deviation for age and sex of child. Now the classification of short stature. So it can be classified as proportional short stature and disproportionate short stature. Though proportionate short stature and disproportionate short stature. So we will be coming to the causes of proportionate disproportionate short stature later. So what is the proportionate short stature? Where the upper segment is to lower segment ratio is normal, and in case of disproportionate short stature, the upper segment versus lower segment ratio may be increased or decreased. So in case of increased ratio, this is short limb dwarfism, and this is short trunk dwarfism. So now coming on to the important causes of proportionate short stature. The most important is normal variants like familial short stature and CDGP, that is constitutional delay in growth and puberty. This is constitutional delay in growth and puberty, and this is familial short stature. Familial short stature. Okay. Second one is, firstly we have the normal variance. Second is intrauterine causes, and third is postnatal or acquired causes of short stature. So in case of intrauterine causes, there are IUGR that can be caused by TORCH group of infections, genetic syndromes such as Turner's, Downs, Sickle syndrome, also known as bird headed dwarfism. Okay. And then we are coming on to the postnatal or acquired causes, such as first is severe long standing malnutrition may be there, malabsorption syndromes, example celiac disease, any chronic systemic infection or illness, chronic systemic illness, endocrinal causes like growth hormone deficiency, Cushing's disease, Cushing syndrome, and next is psychological dwarfism. in case of maternal neglect or maternal deprivation. So tender loving care of mother is not present, mother is not there, which is needed for growth of the baby. So these are the causes for proportionate short stature. Now coming on to the disproportionate short stature. So we discussed about short trunk and short limb dwarfism. So what is short trunk? Upper segment versus lower segment. So when trunk is short, the upper segment is short, so this ratio will decrease, and when limbs are short, then upper segment will be long, so it will increase. So upper segment lower segment ratio will increase, upper segment and lower segment ratio will decrease in this. So what are the causes? Any spinal problem like spondyloepiphyseal dysplasia, mucopolysaccharidosis, mucolipidosis, Caries spine or Pott's disease or TB spine, hemivertebrae or butterfly vertebrae in case of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So all these causes are for short trunk dwarfism. This is affecting spine, this is also affecting spine because of scoliosis and kyphosis. This is affecting spine, this is affecting spine, and these are also affecting spine. So all the spinal problems will lead to short trunk dwarfism. Now coming on to the short limb dwarfism. So the causes are rickets. Rickets will lead to knock knee or bow legs, decreased limb length. So this will lead to increase in upper segment lower segment ratio. Next is achondroplasia, then osteogenesis imperfecta, then is congenital hypothyroidism, and finally there are more causes, but we are discussing only these: chondroectodermal dysplasia. So these are all the causes of short stature. Firstly, we will have we had the definition of short stature, that is height less than third centile or less than 2 standard deviation for the age and sex of the child. Proportionate and disproportionate short stature, then we discussed about the causes of proportionate short stature, and then we have discussed about the causes of disproportionate short stature. Now coming on to how to manage a child. Firstly, we have to find out the target height of the child. What is the target height? So it is the mid parental height plus minus 8.5 centimeters. This is the target height of the child. So how do you get the mid parental height of a child? MPH is mother's height plus father height by 2 plus 6 in males and minus 6 in case of females. So this is the MPH, mid parental height, and in this MPH on the both side of 8.5 centimeters above and 8.5 centimeters below the MPH is the target height of the child. And now coming on to the bone age. So how would you find out the bone age? In case of neonates, X-ray of the knee to be done. In case of infants, shoulder X-ray from 3 to 9 months of age, and in children from 1 to 13 years of age, X-ray of left or non-dominant hand and wrist should be done to find out the bone age. Now bone age is less than the chronological age in cases of CDGP, that is, there is still the potential for the child to grow. If bone age is less than the chronological age, suppose a child is 9 years old and this is the chronological age, and the bone age is of 6 years old child, so this is the bone age. So if the bone age is of 6 years old child and if the child is 9 years old, there is still a potential for the bone to develop and the child can grow in height. So first is CDGP, second is congenital hypothyroidism, third is growth hormone deficiency, and fourth is severe malnutrition. So all these cases bone age is less than chronological age. So now we are going to see some of the causes and details in the next section. So now we will discuss how we have to differentiate the different short stages. First is chronological age more than bone age. First is chronological age is more than bone age is equal to height age plus normal growth velocity. So this is CDGP, that is bone age is less than chronological age and bone age is equal to the height age and the growth velocity is normal. Second is chronological age is more than bone age is equal to height age plus abnormal growth velocity. This is all chronic diseases like celiac disease, tuberculosis, chronic renal failure, asthma, congenital heart diseases. So all these diseases, if they are causing a short stature, it will be chronological age is more than bone age is equal to height age plus there will be an abnormal growth velocity. In case of CDGP, there will be a normal growth velocity. Then third scenario is chronological age is equals to bone age. that is more than height age, plus there will be a normal growth velocity. This is familial short stature or genetic short stature. And finally, chronological age is equal to bone age is more than height age plus abnormal growth velocity. So what are the causes are chromosomal. Like Downs, Russell Silver and Turner syndrome. So in case of chromosomal, there will be an abnormal growth velocity, and in case of systemic diseases, chronic diseases, there will be abnormal growth velocity. So that's why we are calling CDGP and familial genetic short stature, because they have normal growth velocity and they can achieve the target height. In case of familial short stature, the parents are short, and in case of constitutional short stature, the parents are of normal height, but the child attains its normal height after a delay in the puberty. So the child will attain the normal height, but it will be delayed attainment. Suppose a child should have been at the target height in normal scenario at 16 years of age, but in case of constitutional delay in growth and puberty, there will be a delay in puberty and there will be a delay in the growth of the child. So in that child, he will attain the target height of his parents, but he will attain it later. But in case of familial short stature, the parents are also short, and the child will going to attain the target height at the same time as the parents did, but the target height will be smaller. So coming on to the growth hormone deficiency. In case of growth hormone deficiency, upper segment and lower segment ratios are usually normal. This is because it is a proportionate short stature. Bone age is less than chronological age, so there is still something you can do, because the bone age is less than chronological age. Dynamic testing is required. Because growth hormone is released in a pulsatile fashion, so there is growth hormone stimulation tests that are done by stimulation with the clonidine or arginine or insulin. So because of the pulsatile release of the growth hormone, these stimulation tests are need to be done. And what is the side effect of the growth hormone? It is pseudo tumor cerebri. So what are the indications of growth hormone? First and most important is growth hormone deficiency. Second is the Turner syndrome. Third is SGA, that is not catching up. Fourth is Noonan syndrome. Fifth is CKD, chronic kidney disease. Sixth is Shock's gene haploinsufficiency. Seventh is idiopathic short stature, and eighth one is Prader-Willi syndrome. So these 8 are the indications for growth hormone therapy.